That's my own damn fault.
Oh no, my bad, man, my bad.
That's all right. I ain't going to beat myself up over it. People
All
don't
right,
like it. They can kiss my ass.
there you go.
All right. Ladies and gents and unidentifiables living in the forest with the mushrooms and the furry bunnies, I have with me the voice of Vapors Championship Wrestling, Gladiator Championship Wrestling, South Central Wrestling, and DCW Down South Championship Wrestling. And not to mention, he is a co host for the radio show Patrick and the People. Man, does he have a set of pipes in those vocals to keep up with all that. Folks, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Rich Rockwell.
Man, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. How you doing today, man?
I could be doing better
All
considering what we were just talking about.
right. All right. Oh man, that resume
Man,
keeps growing longer and longer. We've also got IPCW out of Jacksonville, Arkansas, and Wrestling with Pride out of actually, I think they just moved to Paragould, Arkansas, that I also announced for.
right. Well, Rich, we're going to get into the 21 questions, but before we do that, I'm going to give a few shout outs to a few folks. If you
Absolutely.
haven't seen Gaston Leroux, the professional wrestler from Paris, France, wrestling out of Shreveport, Louisiana, please take notice of that incredible talent. He continues to impress me on a regular basis. I've been checking out his promos and matches regularly, and he is just fantastic. So book Gaston Leroux on your shows. I bet he'd travel to your area for the right money, opponents, and angles. Also, to promote a couple local businesses, I'd like to give a shout out to the badass crew at Marco's Pizza in Broken Arrow at 71st and Lynn Lane. You want a great pizza? They got it. Also, Cars by Chris, CARZ by Chris, will give you a great detail on your vehicle. Checking out on Facebook to make your appointment today. All right, question one. How long have you been in the wrestling business and in broadcasting?
Well, broadcasting has been a long time. I actually graduated from a college in Michigan, Southfield, Michigan, which is where I was born and raised, called, at that time, it was called Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. Now it's just media arts. Um, but graduated from there with my degree in radio broadcasting. That was back in 2009. And that's when I kind of started that part of my career out and have been all over the US doing that. Entered the wrestling world of announcing, made my debut in 2018 with South Central Wrestling, and been going fairly strong since. I've stepped away from it once or twice, just because life happens. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying it, like I said, since 2018.
That's great. Um, so your question three. I know we've talked about you coming to do some work in OZWF, Oak Zone Wrestling Federation. I got to say, with everything you have to bring to the table, with your announcing skills and backstage experience and broadcasting experience, I don't need to think about it any longer. We'd love to have you a part of the company. I speak
Well,
for everyone when I say I can't wait to work with you. My question number three is, can you sing too?
no, probably not. I was gonna say I was blessed with a good broadcast voice. I don't know. Some people have said I can sing. I don't think I could carry a tune in a bucket if somebody held a gun to my head, but I can give it a shot.
Right on. It just sounded like with all that experience that you have, whether it's announcing for wrestling or broadcasting or in radio, it just sounds like you've got a plethora of things going on with your voice. It didn't get past me to think this guy could project his voice to sing if he wanted to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure I could probably. I'm sure I could probably be heard for sure. Whether they want to hear it or not could be a different subject. But yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, you have a you have a choice of booking a dream match between three tag teams in a single man elimination match for the World Tag Team Championship in WWE, TNA, WCW, or AEW. So here's your choices. You got the Hardy Boys, Owen Hart and Yokozuna, the Young Bucks, LOD, Talking Animal, Beer
Right.
Money, the Usos, Scotty Too Hottie, and Grandmaster Sex Slave Brian Lawler, Private Party, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson,
Ooh.
Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, STR, Main Event Mafia with Sting and Booker T, and the
Mm.
Steiner Brothers. And
Man,
keep
that's
in
some
mind,
hardcore.
this is a match between three tag teams in a single man elimination match for a world championship
Right.
for any of those promotions.
Man, if I had to choose from that list that you gave, honestly, I would go. Man, I'd love to see the Hardys, the Usos, and Ric Flair, and what'd you say, Arn Anderson?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I'd like to see all three of the three totally different styles, two, different
I
eras.
like that.
I think that'd make up for a hell of a match.
I like your opinion. All right, you got a choice again:
All
the
right.
Mummy trilogy with Brendan Fraser or the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh, Mummy for sure.
Thank God there's somebody out there that has the same common interest as me because I have so many friends that are just into the Fast and Furious franchise. And I'm like, I love you, brother, but come on.
I mean, I remember when the first Fast and Furious movie came out, and like, don't get me wrong, like I went and saw it in the theaters. I was a teenager, and then leaving the theaters, going and trying everything you just saw, and like, I don't know, I just couldn't get behind the fact that there's like eight or nine of them or whatever. Like, I've seen the first one, and after that, I was kind of like, all right, saw it, I'm done. It's just the same thing over and over again, just
I
different people.
agree. And plus, I like a movie that has a good storyline and substance to it. And when you have a horror movie, it wasn't exactly, it was more of an adventure than horror, but it had
Right,
horror elements to it. And when you put in those horror elements, when you put in some mystique and some magic, and not necessarily magic itself, but movie magic, making things a little more darker and setting the tone. I thought that
right,
was important for any horror movie in general, but for that franchise in general. Even though the third one kind of strayed from that.
right.
Macho Man Randy Savage or the Viper Randy Orton.
Ooh. Man, I'm gonna go with the Viper Randy Orton on that one.
Oh my!
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hate to take it away from Macho Man. Like, of course, he was, he was there's nothing bad to say about him in his prime, really. I mean, I just, there's just so much good about him and the character that he portrayed. But I just feel like I don't know if I'm being really completely honest here. I feel like I know Orton more than I know Savage. I mean, Savage, of course, I was just a little kid back then, and just amazed by, the wrestlers and everything all in general. Again, not taking anything away from Savage, but I just feel like I have more of a connection with Orton, and I've really gotten to see from his young debut and evolution and everything, and the with Ric Flair and Triple H and Batista to what he's become today. And I just like I said, I just feel more of a connection with him of seeing not only himself grow but also how his career has changed through the years.
I respect that. That's a good perspective. And while we're on Macho Man Randy Savage or Randy Orton, a lot of guys come from an amateur wrestling background or they come from other sports in the sports realm. Like Kevin Nash played for the Tennessee Volunteers, I believe it was. Macho Man played baseball. So on to the next question: baseball or football?
Ooh, man, you got some good. These are good 21 questions. I'll go football. I am a baseball fan, but in when I say football too, mainly college football. I grew up Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Wolverines was practically in my backyard, 10 minutes away from my house. So I grew up with my veins bleeding maize and blue. Always been a Michigan fan. Definitely will always sit down and watch if they're on TV. And but a baseball game is that's an American classic, man. And luckily here in Arkansas we have the the Arkansas Travelers. It's a minor league baseball team.
Yeah.
But man, that's one of my favorite things to do in the spring summer is load up the kiddo and hey, let's go check out a baseball game, man.
When I was checking out the campus for University of Arkansas, I had the chance to see a Travelers game, but I was like, oh man, I got so much to do today. I would really like to go, but I got to stay on top and do my business. And
Oh,
so I definitely need to go back and see a game there. I've been
for
to a
sure.
Drillers game here, and I've been to a Dodgers game in Oklahoma City Dodgers.
Though, speaking about baseball, have you heard about the have you heard of the Savannah Bananas?
No,
You haven't?
no.
Oh, so they are like, check them out. They are like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball,
Okay,
essentially.
I
But
know who
like,
that is.
yeah, last time I looked at them, it was like a year or 2 year waiting list just to get tickets to one of their
Oh
games.
wow.
Like, it is that good.
My grandfather took me to the Harlem Globetrotters games at least twice, and I really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, the next question: name three favorite songs.
Ooh. Well, of course, I got to go with the classic dad song, In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins, man. I'll rock out that drum solo in my car every time it's on the radio. um, Man, two other songs outside of that just rock it. I'll throw out there, most anything by Eminem. I'm a huge Eminem fan. Um, let's see. So we got Phil Collins, Eminem, and then let's see here, man. Man, and I'm a huge music guy. I just love so many different genres. I'm gonna go back old school again and go that old time rock and roll by Bob Seger, man.
Oh heck yeah, I love
Oh
that
yeah.
song. Excellent choice.
Yeah. I used to rock that song out when I was a kid, and I don't care. Still to this day, man, I can just be having the worst day ever, and that song comes on, and I'll still rock out to it.
Right. Back to one of the other questions I asked you. Who I think I know the answer to this. Who did you see winning in that Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Usos, Hardy's match?
Man, oh, I'd like to say Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Um, Honestly though, I'm gonna go with the Usos.
Okay.
I would see
Wow.
the Usos probably winning it.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Horseman.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I want to, but just are we talking? Would they all still be in their prime?
Yeah, they would
I
still be
mean,
in their prime. They wouldn't be
yeah,
like Flair in his last match against Lethal and
yeah, the
Jarrett.
50th
Please,
last
God,
match of
no.
his career.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want Ric Flair when he was facing Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if we're talking that time, for sure, Flair and Anderson all the way. I still think Usos give them a little run for their money, though, for sure.
Right on. Okay, where did I go? Oh, here we go. Who is your biggest influence on wanting to do all that you do, and does faith in yourself or a higher power come into play to keep you on your feet and on a level?
Oh man, for sure. I mean, honestly, my biggest inspiration and what drives me to do it is it may sound cheesy or whatever, but it's my kiddo, man. I'm a full-time single dad. Of course, I do have inspiration from, others in the business and everything that I've seen growing up, Mean Gene and um oh gosh, I've been compared to Joey Styles. I've heard a lot of
I like
people have
that.
said, man, I kind of sound like him. Why is his mouth? It's escaping me. The Fink. That's what I'm trying to think of. Um, but honestly, man, like I said, even though it may sound cheesy, my biggest inspiration and biggest, just driver to do this and get out there is my kiddo. He's 6. I'm a full-time single dad, and one of my biggest things has always been showing him, you can do anything that you put your mind to as long as you work hard at it, and dreams do come true.
I like that. Good advice. Um, Favorite hobbies outside of wrestling?
Oh man. I'm a pretty busy guy outside of wrestling. I have like outside of announcing, I have a regular full-time job, of course, the podcast you mentioned with Patrick and the people. And then I also have a part-time job just on Saturdays, mornings outside of that. So, finding a lot of free time for hobbies and everything is it can be a little bit few and far between.
Anything
But
like fishing with the kid?
yeah, I was gonna say, absolutely taking fishing, really just traveling, man, like going around and discovering
Right
new
on.
things. It's been nothing for me to, have a Saturday or a Sunday off and not have a wrestling event to do and wake up in the morning and be like, what do you want to do today? Hey, let's load up and go to Memphis and go check out the Bass Pro Shop or something, Or we did that
Right
like a couple
on.
months ago and ended up making a whole day trip out of it. We went and checked out the Bass Pro Pyramid there in Memphis and saw Graceland and just checked out a few different things. Honestly, that's my favorite thing is just loading up and going with no destination in mind, just wherever it takes you to.
Uh, so you're doing commentary as well as announcing?
Yes, yeah. I mainly do announcing. It seems like more and more I've been getting pulled into the commentary side of things, which I'm not
Mhm.
opposed to. I'd say it's probably a new venue that I've really started doing more over the last year or so.
Okay.
And definitely still have a lot of area, to improve on in my commentary. But yeah, for the most part, man, when I've done it, everybody has all positive feedback. They love the style and everything. So it's definitely something I'm working on and definitely something else that I'm glad to add into my arsenal of things that I can bring to a promotion for sure.
Okay. Well, this next question can be for either commentary or announcing. Um, it's basically for what two wrestlers and what two tag teams would be a dream match to announce? Basically, Cena versus Reigns, maybe MJF versus Seth Rollins, FTR versus Jacob Fatu and Solo,
All
Lucha
right.
Brothers versus the Creed Brothers.
Oh
Those were
man.
ones that I was thinking, like, man, I'd like to see these.
All right. All right. Um, oh man. Man, I just love to announce for anybody, really, especially in the big leagues. I mean, to make it to that, to be able to announce is just all that there is right there. But anybody that I would love to absolutely announce for, um, man, I'd like to announce for Cody Rhodes. That'd be cool. Um, John Cena, not so much. Man, I'd love to go back to the old days too, and just Legion of Doom, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Honestly, though, probably Jake the Snake. If I could announce for Jake, if I could go back in time and announce for Jake the Snake Roberts, my life would be good right then and there.
He's a super cool guy. I
Yeah,
really enjoy meeting him.
yeah, yeah.
Hulk Hogan or The Rock?
Ooh, The Rock, The Rock.
Um, Hot wings, bone in or bone out?
Oh, bone in for sure.
I've been watching a lot of hot ones.
The little hot wings taster
Yeah.
things where they like get hotter as they go on.
Yeah, I just watched the one with Lenny Kravitz not too long ago.
Oh wow. Did you ever see the one with Ariana Grande where she like ate the hottest one and she's just like it doesn't do anything. It's not even hot.
No, I haven't gotten to
Yeah, watch it. I was like, geez, you really are Satan, aren't
that. I think I'm going to know the answer to this, but I could be wrong.
you?
Waylon Jennings or Tupac?
Oh, Waylon Jennings.
No, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because you
You
said
were gonna go
Eminem, I was
Tupac?
like, he likes rap. But I like rap too. But yeah,
I do, man, but I don't know. Tupac stuff just it never really hit me.
yeah. I think I could have left this next question out, but I'm going to ask it anyways. May seem like an unfair question, but do you have a favorite promotion to announce or commentate for?
Ooh.
I know it seems like an unfair question, but when I wrote it down, I probably wasn't thinking, man, I could come up with something better than this, but that's what I had.
No, no, man, and that's good. And man, that that changes so much, and I hate to just single out one promotion because so many of them offer just each of them offer a little bit of a different thing.
Which one
I
was the?
will I will
I'll
say
go ahead. I'm sorry.
qualifying under just like crowd wise,
Hmm.
um, GCW, Gladiator Championship Wrestling. And that's because they still hold to date the largest crowd that I've had the pleasure of announcing for, which was about 400 plus people.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Who would you rather go on a date with? Kelly Bundy from Married with Children or Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a hard one for me too.
yeah. I'm going to go Married with Children.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Three's Company or Fresh Prince of Bel Air?
Oh, Three's Company.
Me too.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Man, that was just classic comedy, especially with John Ritter.
I
And like
miss that guy.
yeah, me too, man. And like, I like Will Smith as an actor. I've seen him in some, great movie parts that he's played in different things, like
Ali
The
was his
Pursuit of
best one.
Happiness. And I mean, there's just so many good movies he's at. And The Fresh Prince of Bel Air was a great show when I was a teenager, but watching it as an adult, man, he was just so ham and so over the top in it. It just almost turned it off for me.
Pineapple on pizza or no?
I'll go pineapple on pizza. I will
Oh
eat
my
Hawaiian
God, you said
pizza.
it.
I mean, I know cardinal sin, man, but I'll do
You're
Hawaiian pizza
despicable.
any day.
Is
That's it.
there
I'm
any
fired before even starting.
is there anything that pisses you off more than anything else? And what is it?
Oh gosh, that's a whole list.
I mean,
Honestly, time
money's a
wasters.
given obvious. People, most of us probably struggle financially, no matter who they are.
Right, right. Honestly, what I would say is just time wasting and time wasters. Um, people that either feel like if I'm if you're doing something for me or vice versa, whatever, like I always try and show up on time or early to anything. I've always grown up with the rule, uh 15 minutes early is on time, showing up anywhere. um but I would say that, and honestly, also just unnecessary drama, man, and people talking down other people just to try and put themselves in a better position or something. Like, if there's somebody out there that can do something that's better than that might be better than you, don't try and cut them down just to bring them down to your level. Like, try and reach out to them and learn how to improve, and don't the old saying, you don't have to lie to kick it, sort of thing.
Right.
Like, it always comes out in the wash, man, and the truth is always seen. And you can sit there and talk all you want and talk yourself up and say you're the best, but when it comes to put up or shut up time, it's gonna show one way or the other if you know what you're doing or you don't. And
Right.
that's the biggest thing to me. Like, that's one of my pet peeves, is just don't waste my time.
Right. You seem like a pretty good down to earth guy.
Yeah, yeah, I try
Looking
to be.
forward to working with you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great. I've been one of my main goals, especially, as 2024 ends and 2025 starts, is like, I've been, as Patrick calls me on the podcast, I'm, the Bruce Buffer of Arkansas is kind of the nickname that he dubbed me with and everything. And I
I
love
like
the
it.
nickname, don't get me wrong, but it's time for the Bruce Buffer of Arkansas to become the Bruce Buffer of the world.
Who is your favorite announcer of all time in any sport?
Oh, well, we mentioned Bruce Buffer.
I always liked Michael Buffer, even though I think Fink is the GOAT.
Yeah, I was just you took the words out of my mouth there. I was gonna say, if we're any sport, any of the Buffers, Michael Buffer, Bruce Buffer. I mean, hey, you figured out a way to make $1 million every time you say, let's get ready to rumble, you're doing pretty damn good. But yeah, as far as wrestling announcers go, the Fink by far.
I do like Samantha Irvin, and I know she's
Man.
taking a break from it all, and it pisses me
Oh.
off because I know that her and Ricochet doing their thing, and whatever they may have going on in life.
You
But it
know,
seemed to me kind of like she wanted to get out of there because he was getting out of there, and I wish the best for her, but man, she's so talented.
yeah,
The
yeah.
one they have
Well,
on there now, other than Lillian Garcia, I don't care for her at
yeah,
all. It's so
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Well, and you can tell like exactly what I was talking about. The kind of, showing up and not being you. And we talked about this on the podcast. I think everybody in general is just like that, seeing authenticity. People being authentic on TV, on radio, in movies, wherever. Even though, I understand, movies, they have a script and, a plot and everything. Like, I think people in general are just craving to cling on to that authenticity. And the new announcer that they have on SmackDown, I feel basically came into it and got put in that position to be a clone or as close to a clone of Samantha as they could be. Um, and that's really all I see. I don't see that they're, trying to step out or, really get out of that shadow or anything. It kind of seems like they're just following that formula. It is great to see Lillian back for sure. And I'll give Samantha her props. Like, hey, she's been in a position that I want to get to that I haven't been in yet. So, obviously it was her time and she's doing something right. I am not a fan of hers as far as announcing goes. Um, and the simple reason of that is while I am glad that, and thankful that she shined some light on the announcer position and just how, important it is in a production like WWE or really any wrestling promotion, that announcer, you need to have an announcer just like you have, your talent of wrestlers and everything. An announcer is a key part of the show. But I think, well, two things. One, I think she crossed the line a little bit too much of taking, the spotlight away from the talent and the wrestlers and making it about her. And then the second thing that really lost a lot of respect for me, especially being an announcer and somebody that has a passion and wants to be in that position, after everything was said and done and she'd left WWE, she actually posted something online to the effects of like, I never wanted to be an announcer. It just kind of happened and she ran with it. And made it good for a little while. And then of course, like you said, stepped away from it and everything. And I just I felt like that was a little bit of a stab towards the announcers. Like, you got all this benefit from it. You got the camera on you. You shed some light on announcers. You got to be the spotlight. But really, you were taking a position that so many others are wanting, and you didn't even care about that position.
Yeah. All right. We got two more questions left.
Sure.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, meatloaf. Honestly, man, meatloaf, green beans, and mashed potatoes and gravy. That is my dinner of choice.
Right on. I like catfish. That would be mine.
Oh yeah, some good catfish.
Catfish, alligator bites, and um,
And I've lived in
and a cold
Arkansas.
beer. That's all I need.
I was gonna say, and I've lived in Arkansas off and on since 2009. Just shortly after I graduated college, this is where I first moved to. But in all my years here, I don't think I've ever had the chance to try alligator yet, and it's definitely on my list.
Oh, it is so good. If you like chicken, you'll like it.
I was gonna say it probably tastes like chicken.
Yeah. All right. So to the last one, name your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers based on in-ring skill and not mic skills.
And not Mike skills.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ric
Oh,
Flair.
before we get into it, hold on one second. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Do you have time to do another 30 minutes?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, because I may have to stop it at some point and then start a new one.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so we go ahead and answer that on in-ring skills, Mount Rushmore.
Right. Mount Rushmore in-ring skills. I'm gonna go, man, every time I feel like it always changes, but at least this time I'm gonna go Ric Flair for sure. Man, I hate to put him up there because I feel such a wino, but I'm gonna do it anyways and go Bret Hart, the Hitman. Um, man, who else? Let's go from the attitude era. I got to put Stone Cold on there for nothing else than just it's Stone Cold. Um,
I enjoyed watching his matches. I didn't just think it was just his promo skills that made me want to watch his whatever what he was doing, whether it was going off on the rock on the mic and making him look like a stupid son bitch, as he would say.
right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
honestly thought that he was great in the ring. It wasn't just what he could do on the mic.
Right. Right. And I agree. I mean, you just like you could, just his gimmick, his character, all in all, just that rough, tough son of a bitch, man. Like you could see it throughout the way that he, performed in the ring, also. Um, and that's definitely why I put him up there again. Yeah,
So
he
you
was
got
great,
Bret Hart and Stone Cold so far.
huh?
So you got Bret Hart and Stone Cold so far. Or did you
Yeah,
say
we got
Ric Flair
Bret
too?
Hart, Stone Cold, Ric Flair, and
Okay.
let's see, for my final one, Mick Foley.
You don't hear that much on ring skills on Mount Rushmore, so I'm glad to see it.
Yeah,
Glad to hear it. I
yeah.
mean,
And again, I'll even take away, again, maybe ring skills not the best, but man, the shit that dude did, especially for the industry, man,
he
it can't be
sacrificed
missed.
his entire body and his mind for the betterment of what the fans and how they felt.
For
As
real.
they have a word for it, and I'm not going to say say it, but busted one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And man, Mick can make that happen. I'm not saying
We
I
need.
did. I'm just saying that his matches were that damn good.
Oh yeah.
There's not a match that he was in that I did not like, that I did not enjoy. Everything
Right.
he was in is the Hall of Fame worthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Man, I really enjoyed having you on the podcast. We obviously didn't need another 30 minutes, but I will gladly have you on another podcast anytime soon. It
Absolutely.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure, man. I look forward to seeing you here. And I know we're going to be starting up what next year, correct? 2026.
2026,
Yes, sir. So I look forward to
hopefully
that,
in
man.
January.
Awesome. And thank you for making it official, man. I certainly look forward to coming out there and meeting some new faces and showing everybody what I can do for them.
Right on. Thank you very much, Rich. Anybody that has not seen Rich Rockwell announce in any of the promotions he's been in, I've been watching his stuff, and he is just incredible on the mic. I'm real looking forward to working with you. Like I said, I know you've got other abilities other than announcing, and we'll get to that later. But I'll be looking forward to seeing you out there in the ring, announcing somebody as champion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for anybody else that's looking, I'm always looking to branch out and take bookings whenever. So just head over to my Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/Rich One Fall, the number one and then fall. It'll take you right there, and you can also see a highlight video right there of what I can do.
All right, man. Thank you very much for being on the show. Have a great night.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you. You too. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.